A Grenadian businesswoman who does agro-tourism is calling on the government of Grenada to implement similar measures as Barbados with its 12-month welcome stamp. Isabelle Slinger, who is the proprietor of Tower Estates in St. Paul, shared her thoughts with me.
So you talk about tourism, agro-tourism. We are in COVID times. What do you think should be done to get us churning again where tourism is concerned?
Well, I think in many ways the concept of tourism is a double-edged sword, considering that we're a country where we in and of ourselves do not have COVID within our own country. But on the other hand, economically, our economy needs to have that money coming in to help with circulation. Mm-hmm. So to me, you need to find a balance that you take on tourism that minimize any risk of bringing in an infection with them. And then you can grow from there. I think that Grenada has actually been very wise in its approach to the yachts people. I think that they're uniquely placed because they have their own quarantine locations. And I think they're also people who enjoy to adventure. Part of the reason why they're on a yacht is they want to see different things. Mm-hmm. So by that extension, they are very interested in coming around Grenada and visiting spots. And I myself at this venue at the Tower, we have benefited from this tourism during this basically non-tourism time. So I think that to kickstart our tourism, we need to be innovative and go for low-risk options, but we get the rewards of having the foreign money come in. Mm-hmm. I think that Barbados is doing something very unique in terms of their offer of 1,000 people for 1 year. I think that Grenada economically is facing a lot of trouble with the people who have taken mortgages to provide rental properties for the medical school and its associated fields. I think we may be well advised to potentially do a similar program to that to use up that excess capacity that we have so that people can pay their mortgages and so forth. And then basically tell them, July next year, we're expecting our students back. Have a nice day. And it's a good way of also getting more people to know about us. I think that if we made targeted approaches to industries, so for instance, Google is told that none of their people come back to work until July 2020. Why don't we attract some of them to live on a tropical... 2021, right. Mm-hmm. Why don't we attract that group to come here and work here? One of those buildings, improve the IT, get those persons here. So they use our supermarkets, they use our restaurants, they go to the market, they go to the fish market. It gives everybody a little bit of money. Well, I think we just have to be different and innovative in what we're doing. I also think that we can target countries that have very low rates of infection themselves and encourage that type of tourism to Grenada because it's a fellow low rate. I think also we would be wise to attract longer term tourism. So people who would be willing to come here again for a year concept or 6 months, so you don't have this pressure of a constant in and out of infections or potential risk of infections. So it's better to get 1,000 people to stay a year than 50 people each month that rotate in and out, in my mind, simply because of the risks of it, of course, until we have a vaccination.
Slinger goes on to talk about the famous blue tea brewed at the estate. It's from the blue butterfly pea flower. Slinger talks about culinary safari and other activities planned for the Tower Estate.
So the story of the Tower Estate is my family owned this property since 1945. And what I'm trying to develop here is to capitalize on the uniqueness of the structure and also to open up the place because I believe it can be a model as to what potentially other owners of great houses can do. but also be a model to Grenadians about what we can do ourselves. You know, these type of great houses were actually built by Grenadians. We don't celebrate that enough. And I think that in some ways, for us to build on our past, we need to know it and see it.
You said your family had it since 1945. When was it built?
It was actually built in 1913. It was built by a Grenadian lawyer who had married an English wife who was planning to leave him. So he tried to build this house to impress her, but she left anyway. So it was abandoned for quite a few years until the 40s when my grandfather purchased it.
Okay.
And we have since then operated it, and we have a lot of spices and fruit trees. In addition to that, when I returned, I added in an organic farm component to the property. This allows us to basically advertise the best of what we have here. So we're known very much about how our natural food to be eaten and the delights of that. So we offer things like culinary safaris. So you can come, you can go out in the field, pick what you're going to eat, come back and be demonstrated on how to actually do it. So it becomes an interactive thing. My vision is to form, I have a conglomeration with 5 other women that participate with me, and we all try to help each other in building a product. So one of the ladies that collaborates with me, she packages soursop tea. I do the blue tea, which is actually, the color is very blue. Most people they go, oh my God, it is blue. But that is a unique product, which is a selling point for the tower. But we collaborate in terms of she's gonna package it for me and I will produce it. So we team up, and then we will have events called the Joy of Tea here, where people can come and try all the different teas that we make up in Grenada. So it's a way of internally advertising our product. It's also a way of externally advertising, because it's an event that foreigners as well as locals can come. It provides an opportunity for vendors to be able to advertise themselves in a way that they may not have before. And I think one of the things that once we open up, we're very good about is describing our stories. And people purchase an experience. They want to know where their tea came from. They want to know who touched it, who grew it, why did you come up with the idea? And the idea of these type of collaborative events is these people get the opportunity to say their stories, connect with their customers, and it's a win-win situation for everybody. Meanwhile, you're in this lovely, tranquil environment that actually is providing an example. In my farming, I'm also doing the same thing. Grenada has been known to have very high incidence of cancer. And one of those contributory factors I would want to suspect is the amounts of pesticides and stuff that some farmers use in their productions. I would like to provide an alternative example where you can use heirloom seeds, you can use all natural stuff to be able to produce your vegetables. And part of what we're doing here is trying to promote it and truly to see if it works. It's a model. So by using the best, whoever we can get to collaborate, if we can, the outcome of it being an example of how you can do it and a model that other farming people may be able to engage in, we can grow our farming to be natural. And that actually is one of the objectives of what I'd like to do. In addition, there's the concept of tourism, community tourism, village tourism. So St. Paul's is very blessed in the fact it's only 15 minutes away from our cruise ships, 30 minutes away from our hotels. And along with some other folks in the area, we want to put a walking trail so that you can go through our property into other people's property, and it would be right through this area with little nooks which will fit lovely into COVID, where you could have a bench and the person who's there providing that nook, they may be selling something, they may be selling products, they may be selling their beautiful ice cream, they might be selling their sugar cake, but you get an opportunity to take this walk, sit down along the way enjoying what the various people along the way are offering, as well as to come back and enjoy the lawn and the sights that you could have here. So you could take your lovely little walk and then come and have a little blue tea with us. And at the same time, do the souvenirs. So the whole of the community benefits from the activities that we are creating here. So additionally, if other farmers are willing to grow in the same way as I am, that we do a Saturday market where people know they can come here, you can get lovely, organic, freshly produced food. You can even discuss with the farmer what they're doing and how they're doing, and it becomes an experience. And when you get those vegetables home and you start to cook with them, and you tell your kids about, Farmer Brown did this, and I got this from Auntie Jane, and it really makes your food come live.
Okay.
I also would like to encourage our local indigenous animals by providing food for them so that folks can interact with them. We don't know our own country. I don't wish to import any animals. I'd like animals, if they run away, it's no big deal. In fact, I don't have to feed them. I just put food to get them to come and look at you all, but they live everywhere else. I don't have to clean their pen. So a bit of that feel is also going to be brought in, so people can come and pet animals or see animals in their natural environment. In some ways, the whole of the Tower State is about celebrating what we are. And I think sometimes as Grenadians, we have a hard time defining what we are. And I think our schools have a hard time of teaching us what we are because they don't have enough product or information to provide. And if I can help in any way in this regard, I'm very happy to do so.
If you like this and other stories on Serrano Mitchell Worlds, please like, share, and comment. I am Serrano Mitchell. Have a great one.